two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Welcome, everybody. Sports Rage tonight. I'm Cam Stewart along with George Kurtz on a Friday night freak show. George, how you doing tonight? Interesting stuff. We got baseball galore tonight. Last night we only had a couple games, but we got a full slate because that Royals-Mets game was postponed a little bit, so we got some live action. Notes today, golf, Scottish Open. Got her up and put him down. Me and Carver's favorite. You like at the tavern, Chris got her up leading at 11 under, but guys lurking. Rory McIlroy at -7 lurking in the fescue in Scotland, not the weeds. It's called fescue. Or heather. That's what they call grass there. Aberg 8 under, and Scotty Scheffler, tournament favorite, just 6 back at -5. We got U.S. Open. We got Wimbledon tennis too. Let's talk about Alcaraz and Sinner. You wanted 1 and 2 in the men's final. Well, you get it right now. Sinner taking care of business big time in his match. He beat the Joker in straights, and Alcaraz had a little bit of problems with the American there, Taylor Fritz, but he gets it done. But we do cover the 5.5 games, losing by 5. We gave that on the show last night. George, we hit the under in the Baltimore game. The Yankees on the run line, absolutely murdering the Cubs tonight. Did I see Cody Bellinger with 3 dingers? Not 1, not 2, but thrice as nice. Unbelievable stuff. So we got a lot of sports to talk about, George. We got Gamblu on the show. We'll break down MMA, some futures, and some other sports. We'll talk to Connor Mack. Hopefully get some Scottish Open live picks and some other baseball. And you never know if Tony Finn will drop by. So it is truly the Friday Night Freak Show. I'm joined by George Kurtz, who was rocking out to Van Halen before the start of the show, George. I just wanted to get out there and crack a beer and do like a snake ladder. When every time I hear Van Halen, I want to party. How you doing, George?
Doing well, Cam. Doing well. Yeah, I'm a big VH guy. More David Lee Roth than Sammy Hagar, but I like Hagar as well. I think I saw Sammy Hagar solo
last year in Connecticut somewhere. So that was a pretty good show as well here.
I can't drive
55. 55. 55 is slow, by the way.
55 is very slow. I can't drive 55 either. And in Canada, 120. Yeah, whatever the hell it is. But yeah.
I can't drive 65. Pretty much can't drive 75 either, by the way.
Yes.
So we can keep going up there. So, you mentioned Bellinger. By the way, Cam, 3 home runs today. He was robbed of a 4th. All right. Tucker actually took one away here. He could have had 4. Don't get me wrong. I think most of them, if not all of them, were pure Yankee Stadium short porch home runs here. But hey, they all count the same here. So Bellinger, big game here. That's big for me, Cam, because I'm on his preseason home run prop, 21.5. So I took that the over there, figuring Yankee Stadium, once again, he would take advantage of the porch, which he certainly did tonight. Cubs, though, Cam, they're in a little bit of trouble here. All right, lost 4 out of 5 now. All right, you're having some issues. I mean, listen, they were always going to get swamped by the Yankees tonight. It was a TBD guy. They threw Flexen out there. They might as well just be, throwing in the towel there. Milwaukee winning again tonight, 8-3. I mean, they are right up the Cubs' backside there. We keep talking about the Cubs, Cam, and it's like, where did the Brewers come from? I mean, really, when did this happen here? And speaking of a team that where did they come from? Red Sox. As we were getting on air, Cam, Red Sox walk-off winning home run Serene Rafaela. So they beat the Rays 5-4.
Oh, good. You said 6-4. I was going to cut your mic, George. I had them plus 1.5 in a parlay there. So that one's still alive. And we have games coming up, George. Let's get everybody to the scoreboard because we're going to be betting on a lot of baseball tonight. First, just an update from people, guys, in the Canadian Football League. And our thoughts and prayers are with Gabe. I think it looked pretty good in Kelowna, but in the top of Canada and all the provinces, especially to the north in Saskatchewan, they're having major forest fires, and they postponed this game. It was supposed to be a 9 Eastern start. I think it's going to be 10 o'clock, but I'll keep you guys posted. I'll put on the game and see if we have any more updates. Saskatchewan hosting the Calgary Stampeders tonight. That's our CFL game of the night, but it might be postponed. I'm not sure exactly what's happening, but George, let's go through the live scoreboard right now. We talked about the Yankees win. Milwaukee keeps on winning. One surprise here, George, Seattle just crushing Detroit. This game is basically going to be over 12-3. I didn't see this one coming. George, Texas up on Houston 5-3, bottom of the 6th inning right now. George talked about it. The red-hot Milwaukee Brewers just crushing Bears 8-3 over the hapless Nationals right now in the bottom of the 7th. We got the Braves and Cardinals in a pretty good one. It's tight, 6-5 Atlanta. We're in the bottom of the 5th there. Minnesota, Skeens, a good pitching matchup. George talked about this one last night, and we did take the under 7. 2-1 Twins. We're in the top of the 6th there. We got the White Sox with a 3-2 lead at home against the Guardians. Kansas City and the Mets was delayed a little bit, but now we're in the top of the 3rd. That one's scoreless, George. Angels up on the D-backs 4-0. Man, we got action tonight. And Philadelphia, they lead the Padres 1-0. So guys, George, games coming up right now. Let's take a look before we get to anything live, before we get to like the Blue Jays, Athletics, Dodgers, Giants, because those games are going to be going off the board in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, they certainly will be here. Cal Raleigh, by the way, hit another home run tonight. That big lead over Detroit. That's a loser for me. All right, that's pretty impressive by Seattle, Cam. Right, you get swept by the Yankees. Last night was a heartbreaking loss where Wu had a no-hitter through 7+ here, and you come out against Skubal. And I know they didn't get all these runs against school, but you end up beating Detroit tonight, 12-3, and the game's actually still going on. It's a big win by a big character win for the Seattle Mariners there to come back off that loss last night here. The Mets, by the way, Senga returns off the IL. He's pitching tonight in that rain delay here in Kansas City. And once again, just as we were talking here, the trainers came out to visit him on the mound. Like, here we go. But it ended up being nothing. He finished the inning there. So I assume he'll come out for the bottom of the 3rd once they get there. But Mets get there. I guess they get their ace back.
George, I'm taking, I took the Blue Jays in a parlay. I'm also laying 1.5, and I like the over 11. I wish it was 10.5, but I still took it at 11 with no juice. Dodgers game, that one's going off at 10-16. We got the Giants with great matchup. We got Webb and May. Giants minus 134, Dodgers plus 114, total 7.5. Any opinions? I was just on In-Game Live, and Dane Martinez told me he likes the May strikeouts over 4.5 of his prop. What do you like in Dodgers Giants? We are about 8 minutes away from first pitch in that one.
Dodgers are plus money. We just don't see that. We never see that, all right? That being said, they've lost 6 straight. They're not hitting. Betts and Freeman are shells of their former selves. Freeman's hitting something like 200 since June 1st. He's struggling mightily here, and Betts just hasn't looked like Mookie Betts all season long here. You throw that in with Hernandez, who hasn't been the same here. No Max Muncy, right, because he hurt the knee. He's out till God knows when. They've got some problems. I'm on Webb tonight. I'm on Webb and the Giants. I think they're going to win the game. And I don't like betting against the Dodgers, but this is not the Dodger team that I expected to see. All right, so I'm going to take the Giants here. Webb generally, not in his last start, but generally pitches very well against the Dodgers throughout his career. So we'll see if he gets that again tonight. So it may be a happy wedding night for Gabe, but maybe not a happy Dodger night for Gabe. So you got to take one here.
He'll be doing fine. He's getting married. The Dodgers got longer. The bottom line, as Morency says to me all the time, too, on the show, it's about what we do in the play. It's about the World Series. And that's the whole thing. Dodgers, right now, regular season, just do your thing and find a way to win the World Series. But George, I do have some interesting bets I'm going to show you later on in the show that I was dabbling with today because I was having a little bit of fun watching the Scottish Open. And I have exact series finals, like 90-1, Jays over Phillies or Phillies over Jays. I did 4 combinations of those. So you can actually pick who's going to be at the World Series, who's going to play. And those bets are a lot of fun to have because they pay boxcars, absolute boxcars. So, George, what are you doing with the Jays game? Do you like that over? With Scherzer going, we know he's probably only going to be going probably 3 or 4 innings, bullpen session for the Jays, and they should be able to rake down in Sacramento there.
All right, we're going to have some fun with this game. We don't have much time yet, but I'm going absolutely taking the over here. I've got home run props up the wazoo as well here. Thinking the ball's going to travel out of this ballpark. So, yeah, I am all over this. We're going to have some fun. We got, Rooker for hit a home run, Soderstrom, Guerrero, and our boy Barger. Our boy Barger's going to hit a home run today. I got 4 so far. I actually want to play more.
George, you're an animal. So Barger, Guerrero, Rooker, you got a 3 home run pack in Jays and Athletics. Let's hope there is runs in this game, George, because I am on the over. Hopefully the Jays can get to Oakland earlier in this one. And we'll talk about this game and more with George Kurtz. We got a lot of baseball tonight to cover.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Welcome back, everybody. Cam Stewart, George Kurtz, Sports Rage late night tonight. Hope everyone's having a good time. We got if you like betting baseball, tonight's going to be a great night because there's a million games on the board right now. Hopefully we can get the CFL game going in Saskatchewan due to wildfires. They're still being delayed there. I'll keep you updated if they do kick off in that game. We got tennis tomorrow. We got Wimbledon. We got everything right now. So it is a little bit of a slow season, but not tonight, George. I'm very happy that we have all these, and you know what? Great series too before the All-Star break for the most part. Padres, Phillies, you know what I mean? There's some good matchups here too. So hopefully we can make everybody some money. The Brewers up 8-3 on the Nationals. They're red hot. And the one surprise of the night, you're absolutely correct, George. I didn't expect Seattle to crush Detroit like this, but very impressive. 12-3 in the bottom of the ninth. I think that game just went final. So it looks like Seattle's doing well. Anything live there for you, George? I think Cleveland has just tied it up against the White Sox. They got runners on, 2 outs. They're minus 156 for these games. There before we get to the late night action, is there anything that you're looking at live that you have your eye on?
Well, you know, it brings up an interesting question. You mentioned Cleveland, Chicago. Are you someone who's like gives heavy consideration to betting the loser of the first game of a doubleheader?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I generally do, Cam, and I don't want to say I do it blindly because that's not fair. But I give a lot of heavy consideration to whoever loses the first game of doubleheader to go to the second game. Years ago, before COVID, it was something like 71%. 71% of the time, the loser won the second game. You know, so it's like, it was just almost automatic. Okay, I'll bet whoever loses. Don't care who it is here. During COVID, that changed a little bit because those 7-inning doubleheaders. I guess the bad teams, the bullpens, they didn't get hit as hard there, whatever. And the numbers went back down to more 50-50 here. And now but now, last couple of years, it's crawling back up again to that 70% area here. That being said, it's the White Sox, right? I couldn't do it, Ken. That's my long-winded way of saying I couldn't do it here, but I wanted to bet Cleveland. Then again, Cleveland crushed me all week. All right. I think I bet against them every game against Houston. You know, I'll just make it up the next day. And then you got to be kidding. How do you sweep the Astros in Houston? It just made no sense to me here. So that's why I said nothing on that game. I have the under in Kansas City with the Mets here. All right, the Mets have had a lot of trouble running scoring position. I figured the rain delay also. Rain delays, I kind of like to take unders, Cam. I think teams want to get out of there a little quick because they don't want to play till 2 o'clock in the morning. The umpires want to get out too, so the strike zone may be a little wider here. So I tend to take unders in rain delays. They have the under for the Mets here. I have the under with you at Pittsburgh, Minnesota. I'm on Minnesota too. Said that last night. I was going to take the under in Minnesota. Skeens is pitching. They don't score for him here. Have the over in Texas, but I also had Houston, so that's a split for me. You and I talked about Washington, Milwaukee last night. I have the over there. Atlanta, St. Louis, same thing. I didn't realize we've won these bets already. We've won the Milwaukee over. We've won the St. Louis, Atlanta over here. That's cashed already. And I think that's all for the early games as far as in-game bets. Everything else is starting now.
Just a few, eh, Georgie? We're not even close to being done. That Blue Jays Oakland game, the total's gone down too in that game. So I might wait another inning and pounce on it if we can get a better number. I'm seeing 9.5. It's scoreless right now. So they didn't put up anything early. A little bit surprising there. But George, I got one for you too, for all the listeners and viewers out there. I don't know what's going on with this Angels Diamondback series, but all they do, remember last night, that game went over by a truckload. It's already 4-4. I know it looks crazy at 16.5 or whatever the hell it is. I would not be shocked if we got like 20 runs in this game. And I know games can slow down, but I just can't do it, George. I can't do it. I'm there. Like, I'm going to take the over in that game right now. Like, take a look at, so it's 4-4. We're in the top of the second. Live total 16.5. And I'm not even getting any juice on my book with the over. Give me the over 16.5, Arizona and LA. And I'm with you, George. I'm going to ride the Giants and Dodgers with you. It's straight down. The Giants are minus 115 and the total is 7.5. Any opinion on the total?
I mean, it's May versus Webb. All right. Now, May has been better of late, right? Not great, but better. Where he's been at least, he's certainly been more than serviceable here. The question is, are the Dodgers going to hit Webb? I mean, it's kind of weird to say. How many runs am I going to get out of the Dodgers here? Because they we're down to 7.5 now because the game has started. All right, and as runners on base, well, the Dodgers are actually doing something there, or runners on base, I should say. I kind of still lean towards the under, and you're getting plus money now, so maybe that's even better for us here. I did not bet it. All right, that's one thing I don't have here. I didn't bet this. I did bet. I talked about with Joe Ranieri and Game Time Decisions that I was taking the over in the Arizona game for just what you mentioned. Angels are hitting the ball here. Arizona hits the ball here. You heard me last night complain about the Arizona bullpen, which actually was okay last night. But that Arizona bullpen is trash, absolute trash here. So I think more runs are coming. As you said, you think 20 might be an option. I do not disagree.
And one play for me, George, it wouldn't be a night without my dumpster dive special. I'm going in on the White Sox plus 122 live against the Guardians. I don't care. There's two guys on for the Guardians. I'm getting them at plus money, and I know the Guardians have screwed you. The White Sox, if you really look, I know this sounds insane, but they're actually playing better baseball. A lot of these call-up guys have been decent. Like, what were they, George, in their last 15, 7-8? Like, they're not that 2-13 type of team anymore. Cleveland, on the other hand, is playing more like the White Sox used to be playing. I will take a home dog in the White Sox plus 122 right now. I know you don't want any part of that game because it pretty well reeks like, that's like sulfur. That's bad trash right there, steaming in the sun. But I will take the White Sox as my dumpster pick of the night. Hopefully this one turns out to be gold, not cubic zirconia. So that's what I'm doing, George. And hopefully we can make some dough tonight because the early games have been great. We gave out the Baltimore under last night, and George liked the under. Twins, Pirates, and the Twins are up 2-1 in the top of the 7. So, George, anything changing with Olsen instead of Acuna for the home run derby? You think that makes any difference or anything? And we're going to have some pitching changes too. Peterson's in for the Mets in the All-Star game. So, and you talked about it. There's going to be probably a couple other moves before everything is said and done because, some guys, who'd you say, Yamamoto is pitching basically before this thing, but I would expect probably 3 or 4 moves too heading into the All-Star break and the All-Star game and the home run derby.
Yeah, I think it's about right. I think we're going to set the number on how many players currently who got elected or are supposed to go who aren't going to go. 3.5 sounds about right. You want to set go the over there. Yamamoto is pitching on Sunday, so I do not expect him to go at all. That would be somewhat of a shock there, especially with all the Dodger injuries there that are happening. So does it change my mind, Olsen? No, I'm actually feeling better about Caminero the more we talk about it. I kind of like Caminero a lot. I do like your pick of Rooker and Wood as our second and third choice there. And I think I might follow your lead here and take those 3 to win.
Yeah, we'll go over them again, but we looked at Caminero as like a great bet in the home run derby at 10-1. More with Kurtz after the break. We'll have an update, and there's one WNBA game on the board too. We'll talk a bit.
That is the idea. It really is for in-game live. Have you said it? The home team, who's a double-digit or close to it anyway, favorite, and get off to a bad start and actually have them trailing by 5, 6, 7 to the point where you get it at pick 'em. And I don't know how many times. I'd like to know a stat of how many times a team that's been favored by double digits, trailed by double digits, and actually won the game. I bet it's a lot.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
You've got issues up and down here. The bullpen is falling apart, to put it nicely. And have you seen the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the month of July here? We have Seattle, then we have the Cubs, then you have Atlanta, then you have Toronto again in Toronto. That really didn't go all that well this week. And then you have Philadelphia and Tampa. Good luck to the Yankees in July here.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Connect's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Connect, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Connect 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Blue Jays to really make another addition at the deadline. They just got Max Scherzer back. Can they get another pitcher to help out with the pitching staff, which I still think is their biggest issue? They're looking to be in a good spot right now.
And also, Tom, like just the evolution of handicapping, right? Early in the season, I don't want to take this Blue Jays lineup. It's really bad. Now the past couple weeks, every day I'm looking at the Blue Jays going ooh, team total, RBI chances, guys that were in household names at the beginning of the year.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back, everybody. Sports Rage Late Night. Yeah, so an update on that game. It still says delayed, but we're basically looking. It's 10:24 Eastern. These teams not on the field. I'm on the channel. They've switched to the Raptors Summer League game. So they're not even like giving you up. I'm on Twitter, and it says it's still delayed. But I got to tell you, George, if even with the time difference of 2 hours there, so that's 8:24, they might have to postpone this game. If these guys don't get on the field, they're still going to need time to warm up. So we'll keep you updated. Saskatchewan air quality situation. You think they could have done something before, George, too? Like people on Twitter, like, yeah, we've been breathing in the air all day. Like, why would you wait this late to do it, or like have an announcement earlier on before like fans and something get in the building? But this is what's happening right here. It looks, if they don't get started soon, it looks like it's going to be a complete postponement. They're going to have to reschedule. But wouldn't that be something that you'd look at before, going, oh, we might have an air quality problem. Maybe we should reschedule before waiting for this all to happen?
We all know football's a little different, right? Because the schedule, you got the sanctity of the schedule. It's harder to change games. I also listen. I do not know. I am not a weatherman, meteorologist, or whatever. But maybe the quality's gonna be worse tomorrow, worse the next day? Yeah, is the stadium available? It's hotel room. I mean, there's so much that goes into it that I do understand. So maybe it's a further complication here that makes it difficult, and they wanted to wait till the last possible second. That being said, we all know fans always get screwed over, right? When they cancel games last second, you're already there. Hey, you already paid for the parking, you already paid for the bridge or the tolls. What else you got to get there? Not to mention, you might have brought a couple of drinks, maybe a couple of dogs, and you got to see nothing. So
my whole point being is you've been dealing with air quality the whole day. They already knew that they were going to have a delay. So the delay gets extended, yet you're only going to have so much light to play the game. And the thing about the CFL, George, because there's so many weeks, it's easier than the NFL to probably reschedule things due to the nature of their schedule. But the fact that you didn't even have like a heads up before or had some kind of proaction into this thing, and that's the whole problem right now. Like, we're looking at it's almost 10:30 Eastern. Like, what about light situation, air quality? I don't know what's going on, guys. Once I get the final word, but on Twitter, it still says delayed. I haven't seen postponement yet. And if there is, maybe somebody can tell me, because I'm all over this thing. But George, we do have baseball right now to get to. Also, let's go through one basketball game in the WNBA. Here's the thing. The Connecticut Sun are the worst team going. They're up right now on the Seattle Storm. Seattle Storm in this spot. I think they could probably come back and win this game. I'm thinking, what are we going to do with this game? I'm going to take Seattle live in this spot. I don't know about the total, 142.5. Not really into the total, but I think Seattle will come back and beat Connecticut. Summer League basketball, the Toronto Raptors all over the Bulls right now, 110-66. Smoke show. George, they laid 6.5 with the Raptors. And remember, Gabe's not here, but the Toronto two-step, this is not good for business. That means the Jays might lose to the Athletics tonight because no Toronto team wins 2 games on the same night. Phoenix is up on Washington 63-53. They got 5:01 left in the third, and the Raptors just crushing right now. $1.56 left in the fourth quarter, 110-66. I really wish I put more money on that game, George. So what do we got right now live? We got Cleveland and the White Sox. They're 3-3. So what happened in this Minnesota game? You're saying is there a possible injury, or is everything okay? Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's my bad there.
Sorry, George.
Anyway, Tommy Pham hit a line drive right off the wall here in right field. It was played very well by the right fielder. Throw into second base. Pham slid head first right into Correa's shin. And you can see the shin go one way, the leg go the other, and his ankle also twisted here. Correa was down, had to be helped off the field. He's out. So it doesn't look like he's coming back anytime soon to play here. Very similar to the Max Muncy injury, for those who saw it 2 weeks ago, when the same thing. Somebody slid head first, and their head/shoulder may connected with the knee/higher shin bone there. So not good for Correa, who has a history of injuries as it is, but he's not returning anytime soon.
So White Sox 3-3 right now. They got a runner on, no outs. They're now minus $1.60. We got the New York Mets and Royals. Any interest in the Royals down 1 run there, bottom of the third with 1 out there, George? They're plus 164. That looks attractive to me.
I think we should be getting better here. Well, at least I want to give it. We got 2 outs now in the third inning in this game. Assuming Kansas City doesn't score, they do have a runner on first here. We'll get a better price, Cam. Senga's probably not going to go deep into this game, right? 5 innings? I like to see how many pitches he's thrown here. Boy, I can't read that. Maybe 51, it might say. So he's probably not going more than 5+ innings. And that Mets bullpen has issues, right? They pitched a doubleheader yesterday, so they've got some problems here. This might be a bullpen to attack before they get the Diaz in the ninth inning. So yes, I am interested in Kansas City. I am on this game pregame as far as the under.
Pre-game under, and we're already on the under. George is in the Giants-Dodger game. It's scoreless right now. Blue Jays have a couple guys on, but a couple guys out. We'll keep you posted. Gamblu coming up next. We'll see what he's got in futures and talk some MMA with the great Gamblu.
That is the idea. It really is for in-game live. Have you said it? The home team who's a double-digit or close to it anyway favorite and get off to a bad start and actually have them trailing by 5, 6, 7 to the point where you get it at pick'em. And I don't know how many times. I'd like to know a stat of how many times a team that's been favored by double digits, trailed by double digits, and actually won the game. I bet it's a lot.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
You've got issues up and down here. The bullpen is falling apart, to put it nicely. And have you seen the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the month of July here? We have Seattle, then we have the Cubs, then you have Atlanta, then you have Toronto again in Toronto. That really didn't go all that well this week. And then you have Philadelphia and Tampa. Good luck to the Yankees in July here.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Connect's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Connect, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Connect 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Blue Jays to really make another addition at the deadline. They just got Max Scherzer back. Can they get another pitcher to help out with the pitching staff, which I still think is their biggest issue? They're looking to be in a good spot right now.
And also, Tom, like just the evolution of handicapping, right? Early in the season, like, I don't want to take this Blue Jays lineup. Like, it's really bad. Now, the past couple weeks, like, every day I'm looking at the Blue Jays going like, ooh, team total, RBI chances, guys that were in household names at the beginning of the year.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back to Sports Rage. Tonight, I'm Cam Stewart along with George Kurtz. Shout out to Morency. And I know a man who's met Morency's lady before. I've only done on the VMix at the end of the show, but Gamblu says he met Mrs. Morency when they were chilling out at the World Baseball Classic, Lou. It's interesting stuff, but congratulations to Gabe. And as I told George, Lou, I'm the only guy at SportsGrid without a woman. I don't want to be the neighborhood creeper, but my girlfriend found out that Morency was tying the knot, and let's just say the pressure's on the bear to deliver. So I got to do something, Lou. I got to win some money and take her out to a nice dinner or figure something out. How you doing tonight, Gamblu? How's Arizona treating you?
I'm doing great, guys. It's a pleasure to spend time with you both, Cam and George. It's hot in Phoenix, but I don't shovel snow and slip on ice, guys, so I'm not bitching about any heat. It is what it is. It's a great time of year. We've got NFL on the horizon. We've got UFC each week for the next 6 weeks. So I'm a happy guy.
Hey, Lou, what do you think when you're looking at this card this week? What do you think of it? Are you happy with it? There's a lot of like potential dogs. Like, what do you see the overview when you look at the mixed martial arts card this week? Was it UFC Nashville? Like, are you into this one? Do you see a lot of opportunity here?
I do, and Cam, I would tell you this is going to be the most violent card filled with finishes of the whole year, and it's such because there's 6 or 7 fighters over 34 years old. As well, there are vast age differences in these fights. Main event 15 years, co-main event 14 years, and we know that 6 years of youth advantage in fights results in 59.5% win rate. And you get older than that, or I should say the spread gets wider, then the youth advantage grows. Now you compound that by trying to predict how the fight will go, and you got two wrestlers, that's one thing. But if you have two guys that never wrestle, that you know they're going to stand there and bang, and this card's loaded with them, and you have one guy that's longer, taller, younger, you have great advantage. And this fight card's filled with those.
Lou, where do you want to start there? I know we can go start at the prelims, or do you want to talk about the main fights first? But what direction do you want to take it? Because I know, like the local dog catcher, you're always looking for some loose pooches.
I am looking loose pooches, and we'll start at the bottom and go top. I just saw that we had Tafa and Tokos on the screen right there. I think Tuco Tokos is a decent underdog to consider. Why? Because he's been fighting at 205, and he comes in, I wouldn't say he's an elite fighter, but he has wrestling, he has grappling, he has good hands, and he can take a punch. Meanwhile, Tafa, his opponent, the favorite, is dropping from heavyweight. He fought his last fight at 241. He's fighting this one at 205. Usually that first drastic cut like that, the athlete has spent so much time fighting the cut, they forget to bring some fight for the other fighter. And for that reason, I like Tukos, the natural 205er in this fight, and I like him as well because he has a more well-rounded game than does Tafa, who's simply an Australian banger.
Yeah, there's a lot of big favorites on this card, Lou. Like you look at Petrino, he's minus like 750 versus Lane. You got Bonfim against Stephen Thompson. That's interesting. He's minus 450. So, Lou, what do you do, I guess, for the favorites? Do you put the parlay together? I know you've talked about betting rounds. How do you do that with the favorites in the card? How are you going to, because I know we like to take dogs, but sometimes dogs aren't going to win all the time. As you mentioned, favorites are coming in at a nice clip at the UFC.
65.2% so far this year, Cam. Yeah, we have to be selective with our dogs. But I do like a handful of dogs on this card. One of the big dogs that I like, you have to go down lower into the card, is a female fight at 125 flyweight. And you have the Brazilian Moura is fighting Lauren Murphy, an old grizzled veteran. Moura's young, 2-1 in the UFC, talented, but still cutting her teeth. Murphy, 41, hasn't fought in 2.5 years, and the analytics guys look at that and say, well, she's announced her retirement. She's got 1 foot out of the cage and 1 in. You can fade her. And the line is reflective of that. The only problem is that they don't know Murphy. This girl, Murphy, tougher than John Wayne Saddle, let me tell you. She's a junkyard dog, and she's fighting her last fight and announced her retirement because the last fight she fought in, she did really poorly and is embarrassed at that. She is a focused, driven woman. And this, if you look at the line on this total, 2.5 rounds over 375, 350, this fight's going to decision. Murphy's not going anywhere. I believe she wins the fight and awards young Moura her PhD in MMA as well in the states that have points. Lauren Murphy plus 3.5 plus 140. I would encourage people to take a long, hard look at that position.
I'm all over it, Lou. That's a great price for an underdog, too. Plus 450 and Mora's minus 600. Any opinion on one of the first prelims of the night, Max Griffin? He's a plus 245 underdog against Chris Curtis. You like that one or any other fights that catch your fancy?
Yeah, I like Griffin a little bit, not enough to bet it. I was hoping that his opponent, Griffin's opponent is who?
Curtis.
Chris Curtis, excuse me. Curtis fights at 185, and he has a hard time at 185 because he's undersized, and those guys, 185 or weighs 185, next day shows up at 202. So he was having trouble with that size. He went back down to 170. Problem is he has trouble making 170. Well, he didn't today. He looked good. I was hoping maybe he struggled with the cut so I could look at Max Payne Griffin. I still lean to him a little, just not enough to bet him. I will say when you get to the co-main event and main event, you got two big underdogs in each. And my position there would be to take each underdog very lightly. These are they're better than ham sandwich bets. Call them a pizza bet. But really, you have 15 and 14-year differences here. In the main event, Derek Lewis is the KO king in the UFC, and they're giving him a guy in his sophomore fight in the UFC. Kid's never been into the third round, and I think there's a compelling story for Lewis. In the co-main event, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, they're giving him grapplers because no one else knows how to solve this guy. If Bonfim can get Thompson down, this is Bonfim's fight. If he can't, and I have reason to believe that wrestlers, grapplers of Bonfim's ilk have struggled getting Stephen Wonderboy Thompson down before. I think that Stephen Wonderboy Thompson has a compelling side as well, but those are smaller bets. The dogs I'm really after, Lauren Murphy. Then we go into Chidi Njokuani, who fights Jake Matthews. Everybody and their mother's on Njokuani. He's a minus 150, 155 or so, but he missed weight. He's another guy that should fight at 85, cuts down to 70 to try and gain advantage. This is his second miss in a row. He spent all morning, all week really, trying to make this cut, didn't make it. He's been fighting the cut. Now he's got to fight Jake Matthews, who's a tough, durable guy. And so I really like Matthews as an underdog position here as well, Cam.
It sounds good, Lou, because I'm thinking about it, and that's a great lesson for Lou. Like, even if you're betting pizza money, Stephen Thompson's plus 330 in his fight against Bonfim, and you got Derek Lewis, as Lou mentioned. This guy's quality. He's plus 225 against Teixeira. So one of those pooches comes in, you're making good money, even if it is a small bet. We'll talk more MMA with Lou, and I know George wants to talk to Lou. We've already dipped our beak. We talked AFC East win totals, and we'll talk to Lou because I know his wheels and hamsters always on the wheel when we talk about NFL totals. More with the great Gamblu. Me and Kurtz filling in for Gabe tonight. Hope Gabe has a great wedding weekend in Kelowna, and we'll have more with Gamblu after a short break.
That is the idea. It really is for in-game live. You said it. The home team, who's a double-digit or close to it anyway, favorite, and get off to a bad start and actually have them trailing by 5, 6, 7 to the point where you get it at pick'em. And I don't know how many times. I'd like to know a stat of how many times a team that's been favored by double digits, trailed by double digits, and actually won the game. I bet it's a lot.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
You've got issues up and down here. The bullpen is falling apart, to put it nicely. And have you seen the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the month of July here? We have Seattle, then we have the Cubs, then you have Atlanta, then you have Toronto again in Toronto. That really didn't go all that well this week. And then you have Philadelphia and Tampa. Good luck to the Yankees in July here.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Knecht's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Knecht, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Knecht 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Blue Jays to really make another addition at the deadline. They just got Max Scherzer back. Can they get another pitcher to help out with the pitching staff, which I still think is their biggest issue? They're looking to be in a good spot right now.
And also, Tom, like just the evolution of handicapping, right? Early in the season, like, I don't want to take this Blue Jays lineup. Like, it's really bad. Now, the past couple weeks, like, every day I'm looking at the Blue Jays going like, ooh, team total, RBI chances, guys that weren't household names at the beginning of the year.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back, everybody. Sports Rage Late Night. I'm Cam Stewart along with George Kurtz and our buddy Gamblu in the house from Arizona breaking down UFC Nashville. So, Lou, underdogs are the story. In the main event, you talk about Stevie Wonderboy Thompson plus 330, Derek Lewis plus 225. One of those pooches hits, you're making money. But let's talk about one more fight before me and George talk a little NFL with you, and then we'll get your final card. Nate Landwehr and Carrière, it sounds like he's a forward for the Montreal Canadiens. Morgan, the Frenchman here, he's laying minus 255 against Landwehr. This should be a pretty good fight, Lou, and you have an opinion on this one?
Yeah, this line has hardly moved at all. Landwehr, Nate the Train Landwehr, and yeah, he fights just like that. He's strong, forward pressing, power striker. However, at 37, he's starting to slow. He gets hit. He has a lot of scar tissue on his face, and a heavy sneeze causes 5 stitches. Now he's going to get in the ring against this Morgan Charrière. Charrier's fast, athletic, quick. He could be a little more active, and in this fight, I think we're going to see activity because I don't think the Train, who everyone loves, he's a fan favorite. I love the guy, but this is the worst possible matchup for him because the other kid is too skilled, too fast, too young, too athletic. 5-year age difference in this fight. We took Charrière straight up at minus 265. Got a worse number there is being offered right now.
Yeah, that's the thing, Lou. You can take favorites in it. So, is there a parlay piece you'd like with Carrière to put it together, or you don't mind laying the juice because he's going to win the fight?
I looked hard for parlay pieces, but God, I just really I hate to lay that chalk. I hate to lay 125. But in this matchup with this situation, they're begging you to take Landwehr, and the reason
I think Lou's audio just kicked out there. Hopefully we can get Lou back. But so he likes Carrière, the French fighter, minus 255 against Nate Landwehr. That's interesting. But 2 dogs, Stephen Thompson and Derek Lewis. Hopefully we can get Lou back there, George, because I wanted to talk about basically his NFL pick. He was saying Warren Sharp, he works for the network, and Lou says he just read like a 600-page manual on the NFL, so he's right into it. And I know Lou, he likes dogs, so we'll figure out what dogs he likes. But we talked about it yesterday, George, and I did it again. I hit New England at a better number, and we'll talk about that. So Lou, thanks for coming back. What do you got? What makes your card? And then we'll talk a little NFL with you. I know George wants to throw a couple things at you. So who makes the card, Lou?
Okay, so we're going to do Murphy for a half a unit straight, and Murphy couple units on that points handicap. We're going to take Jake Matthews. We're going to take Charrière, and then we're going to take 2 smaller wagers on the co-main and main, each dog there. And then outside of that, there's one more dog, and his name is...
I lost the audio again. I guess we're having some problems with Lou's audio there. Hopefully, we can get it together. But George, I don't know. What is your opinion? I was just watching this golf tournament there, and I was watching Aaron Rodgers sink 60-foot putts. If he has a career after the NFL, it might be playing on the senior tour. By the way, they had Sam Darnold, Aaron Rodgers, Allen, Baker Mayfield, literally 7 quarterbacks I watch stiff shots, hit 20-foot putts. Isn't it amazing, these football players? And Joe Pavelski, George, you can appreciate, former San Jose Shark and Dallas Star legend, leading in the seniors. But I can't believe how good these quarterbacks are at golf. And it's nice, this tournament, the Pro-Am on the seniors tour, none of these guys who own like General Electric, whatever. It's all like quarterbacks, hockey players, and everybody else. So, yeah, if you're looking at Aaron Rodgers, I'll tell you one thing, he can golf. Sorry, Lou, I hope we got your audio back there. What were you saying there on the final thing? It's okay, buddy. It happens. We'll know what we're going to do, Lou? We're just going to have a White Claw, and don't worry. It's all good. We're just talking fights, but I just hope it doesn't kick out again, or else I'm going to get the hook from the boss. But what do you got for us? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Lou's audio. So anyway, it is what it is there, George. But I don't know what you were going to ask him. I want to know what team he's taking in the NFL for wins total. But what's your take, George? When I was looking at the Steelers, that was a team. A lot of people just assume things are going to work out at 8.5. But that was one team I'm thinking things can go wrong. Cincinnati, you still have to deal with despite the defense. And I think Baltimore is an absolute freight train. So what are we doing here with this stuff, George? I'm like, is it over an automatic for you, or do you think there's pause for concern?
No, it's not an automatic. The defense is good, probably above good. It's probably top 10 in the NFL here. The offense still has some worries, though. We're talking DK Metcalf. We mentioned this last night, Cam. DK Metcalf, great, right? Fine. Who else? You got rid of Pickens, so Metcalf just replaces Pickens. That's all he does. There, you still don't have really a secondary wide receiver there. Listen, you trade for Geno Smith. I like Smith. I like Fry. I thought Fry was like a top 10 tight end in the NFL, top 12 at worst. So you add the second one. Are we going to a 2 tight end offense? What does that mean? Can Aaron Rodgers, will he be happy in a running? Because are they going to play the kind of game? Listen, defense is good. We're not going to let it move with 21, 24 points here. You don't make mistakes. We killed the clock with the run game here. We'll have a shot in the fourth quarter. Play that kind of football? That's not Aaron Rodgers football. He won't be happy with that. But we all know that's sort of the offensive coordinator's MO there, right? That's what he does. And by the way, is the running game even good enough to do this? I have, to play that kind of game, I have my doubts here as well. So no, to answer your question, do I think they'll be in the wild card mix? Sure. Mike Tomlin always is. And this team is better than the teams he's had here. But you can't tell me that, DK Metcalf, Jalen Warren, Freiermuth, Aaron Rodgers, that's a threat? I'm sorry, it's not a Super Bowl threat. It's not. I think they can compete for a wild card. I think Baltimore wins the division. So they'll compete with Cincinnati, maybe New England. You and I were talking about yesterday, the teams in the AFC West, whoever doesn't win the division, Denver, Chargers, whoever it might be. Almost said San Diego, goes myself a buck, but I did not.
Yeah.
So I think that we could be one of those teams. I do, but do I think they're a threat to the big boys, Buffalo, Baltimore? No, I do not.
Yeah, we'll go through the live scoreboard, George. We got a lot of baseball going on there. Still want to wait on this football game. And yeah, it sucks that we didn't get Gamblu's pick because he told me he was reading like 600 pages of the NFL stuff. But this is what we'll do Monday, George, right? We got baseball after this. We got the All-Star game. We got the home run derby. So we can go through a lot of futures and all the sports. But tonight's a nice night. We got great series in baseball. We'll give you a live scoreboard update. And Steve Merrill will come by too. We'll talk a little bit of baseball and futures with Steve after a short break, everybody. This is Sports Rage Late Night with Stewart and Kurtz.
That is the idea. It really is for in-game live. You said it. The home team who's a double-digit or close to it anyway favorite and get off to a bad start and actually have them trailing by 5, 6, 7 to the point where you get it at pick'em. And I don't know how many times. I'd like to know a stat of how many times a team that's been favored by double digits, trailed by double digits, and actually won the game. I bet it's a lot.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
You've got issues up and down here. The bullpen is falling apart, to put it nicely. And have you seen the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the month of July here? We have Seattle, then we have the Cubs, then you have Atlanta, then you have Toronto again in Toronto. That really didn't go all that well this week. And then you have Philadelphia and Tampa. Good luck to the Yankees in July here.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Connect's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Connect, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Connect 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Blue Jays to really make another addition at the deadline. They just got Max Scherzer back. Can they get another pitcher to help out with the pitching staff, which I still think is their biggest issue? They're looking in to be in a good spot right now.
And also, Tom, like just the evolution of handicapping, right? Early in the season, I don't want to take this Blue Jays lineup. Like, it's really bad. Now, the past couple weeks, like, every day I'm looking at the Blue Jays going ooh, team total, RBI chances, guys that were in household names at the beginning of the year.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back to Sports Rage tonight. I'm Cam Stewart along with George Kurtz. Thanks for Gamblue for coming on. And I wish the audio was better, George, because I really wanted to talk football with him. And we'll break it all down on Monday's show, George. We'll have like futures night during the home run derby and everything going on and for baseball. And what did we talk about? We're going to have tons of bets, home run derby. We'll put some futures together. And I wanted to go through some numbers too, win totals of teams that they've updated. Currently right now, let's take a look at the live betting board right now. WNBA action. Seattle's trying to claw back. They're only down 33-31 to the Connecticut Sun. Really low flow in this game. 33-31, 138.5 is your total. If you like Seattle on the money line, it's minus 620. So I'll just lay the 7.5, actually 6.5 now with the Seattle Storm. Baseball action right now. The Texas Rangers up on Houston 7-3. That's in the bottom of the 8th inning. They're minus 3.5 live. Texas total 10.5. Interesting, George. 10.5. We need one more run. Does that seem kind of weird to you? But the juice is 70 cents to the over. Anything there?
They just changed it actually to now it's back up to minus 178 here. Watching the game is what a runner on first here, one out, nothing really going on here. If it wasn't, the $1.78, I'm not going to lay 78 cents, but one run for you're probably going to get it 8 outs, right? 7 now, but you got a runner on second here. It is kind of intriguing, Cam. It's sort of speaking to me to take a shot at it. If I was having a bad night, this might be a try to get even spot, but I'm going to leave it alone here. So, but it is weird that they only want you. They only want one run in an inning plus.
Exactly. Like I don't want to lay the juice either. It's down to 66, but yeah, I would think there's going to be another run in that game. Are we done? It's a final. The Minnesota Twins, George, put one in the winning column. We've actually started our early action with the Yankees, Baltimore under Twins. So 3-0 there, 4-0 with the under, but things have not gone great in the late games. But Minnesota getting it done, 2-1 win over Skeens and the Pirates. Just no run support for Paul Skeens when he takes the bump for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So what do we got going on here? Oh, no, the bad guys. The Cleveland Guardians are beating the White Sox. I took a shot with the White Sox plus 122. Probably pretty stupid, Cam. Pretty stupid, but there's a lot of baseball left. It's running in the top of the 8th. 1-0 Mets over the Royals. What about the Royals plus 1.5 minus 120 or plus 200, George? What do you like with this one? Total 5.5. I'm not sure if it gets there.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if it's going to get there either. Now, we did hear that, I did see while you were talking to Gamblue that Senga is on a pitch count. So he's, I'm not so sure if he's still in the game, but if he is, he's not going to be around long. All right, so he was at 65 pitches last time I checked. So he's not in the game yet. So do we want to pick on the Mets bullpen here? I said doubleheader yesterday, didn't go well for the Mets. We're getting plus 200. You're only getting plus 2-1 with Kansas City, even though the Mets are up right now. I'd still like a better price.
Royals are at home.
I like a better price than 2-1.
You want 240? 240 plus? Is that what you're thinking? You need almost another 40, 50 cents with the Royals and cheese to make it work?
Thing is, if we get it's not going to work in our favor. The Mets don't score any runs here. It's going to go to 180 in this inning here. If Soto makes an out right now, it's going to go down to 190. We're probably going to lose a dime per out. So you almost have to take it now or let it sit here. So I guess if we're going to take it, we're going to take it now at 2-1.
The Diamondbacks and Angels slowed down a little bit. We're still at 4s, but the total 13.5 right now. So they're still expecting some runs. Padres and Phillies. This one could open up at 3-2 right now. Bases loaded for the Phillies, but we have 2 outs, and I think Bryce Harper's up at the dish. Jay's got something cooking, maybe, George. We got runners in first and second, 1 out. They're minus 205 live, and the total there is 7.5. And surprisingly, the Dodgers up 2-1. We thought it could be low scoring, George, but that live total from 7.5 to 8.5. So would you going to bite again? Now the Giants are plus 150 on the money line and plus 1.5 minus 150 on the run line. What do you think?
I still lean towards the Giants a little bit, but certainly not as heavy, or at least not as I'm not as happy about it as I once was. I do want to take a look here at what Logan Webb is doing here, mainly as far as pitch count, where he's at. And he's thrown 49 pitches through 3. So he's not going to be around probably long. I have 6 innings at max for him. Dustin May, by the way, is 38 through 2 2/3 here. Ohtani, by the way, shocking. The one guy who could hit on the team, Webb let beat him. Ohtani at the 2-run homer there. So frustrating when you're betting on the team. Don't let the hot guy beat you there. They get out of it, by the way, San Diego. I still think I'm not going to take the job. I'm not going to double down on the Giants. I already took them pregame here, so I think I'm going to live with that. I took the under. I think I'm going to leave this game alone.
They got a runner on second, 2 outs right now. And the Blue Jays, George, bases loaded, 1 out. We got to get something right here. It's interesting. That live total, we're in the top of the 4th. It's scoreless, but runners, bases loaded right now. Ernie Clement at the dish with 1 out. So we'll keep you updated with all the scores. Steve Merrill will join us in hour 2. We'll talk everything sports with Steve.
It really is for in-game live. Have you said it? The home team who's a double-digit or close to it anyway favorite and get off to a bad start and actually have them trailing by 5, 6, 7 to the point where you get it at pick'em. And I don't know how many times. I'd like to know a stat of how many times a team that's been favored by double digits, trailed by double digits, and actually won the game. I bet it's a lot.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
You've got issues up and down here. The bullpen is falling apart, to put it nicely. And have you seen the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the month of July here? We have Seattle, then we have the Cubs, then you have Atlanta, then you have Toronto again in Toronto. That really didn't go all that well this week. And then you have Philadelphia and Tampa. Good luck to the Yankees in July here.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Connect's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Connect, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Connect 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Blue Jays to really make another addition at the deadline. They just got Max Scherzer back. Can they get another pitcher to help out with the pitching staff, which I still think is their biggest issue? They're looking in to be in a good spot right now.
And also, Tom, like just the evolution of handicapping, right? Early in the season, I don't want to take this Blue Jays lineup. Like, it's really bad. Now, the past couple weeks, every day I'm looking at the Blue Jays going ooh, team total, RBI chances, guys that were in household names at the beginning of the year.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back to Sports Rage tonight, hour 2. I'm Cam Stewart with George Kurtz and an old friend dropping by. It's late night. Steve, how you doing, Steve? How are things? We haven't talked in a while. And are you still coaching women's hoops or baseball? What the hell are you doing? I know Kurtz is going to take the dog for a walk after the show, but how are things going with the kids?
Yeah, I was at a high school basketball practice yesterday, had a baseball practice tonight, and then we've got an AAU game Sunday. So, yeah, a little baseball and basketball, mixing it in still. Maybe sprinkling in some football this fall, which was my sport. It's actually the only sport I've never coached, even though that was the sport I played. So, coming full circle, Cam, and then I'll be good.
Amazing. Yeah. George is the referee. You're the coach. And I'm just the degenerate gambler, I guess, out of the three. Yes, George is a hockey rep. We always, me and Gabe bust his chops all the time. George, tough referee. Nice. I know. George is a good guy. He's actually very fair. He's very fair. He'll let them play rough. He just doesn't like cheap shots, right, Kurtz? You're a good referee. You're known in the business as one of the good guys, not a chump. He lets them play, right, Kurtz? You're free.
Of course.
You let these guys
I want to
go.
get the game over with. All right, let them play.
Exactly.
No whistles. We get the hell out of here. All right.
Exactly.
No, I do. I like to let the players determine the game. I don't want to be a part of it. I only, as far as hockey, just don't use your stick. Don't use your stick as a weapon. You'll probably be okay with me.
Stick work sucks. So, Steve, baseball. How have you been? How's baseball been treating you? And I know we're heading into the All-Star break here. Are you attacking games from a different philosophy? Very streaky teams like the Yankees, they're going under. Now they're going over. How do you guide your way through this thing? You know, it's been an interesting year in baseball so far, but has any philosophies changed, like as the season progresses? And what teams are you looking at right now to make a move in the second half?
Well, I mean, one thing that's fascinating to me, Cam, and obviously this is your neck of the woods, is the East. You've got the Blue Jays still up, and they're only plus 20 on the season. and the Yankees are plus 117 net runs. Red Sox, Rays, 57 and 65 net runs. So, hey, look, expected one-loss record is just plus-minus net runs. It's that simple. And over 162 games, it's a pretty good barometer. So I do think the Blue Jays probably are going to come back down to earth sooner than later. The Yankees, though, still sub 500 over the past month plus. You know, they got off to that strong start. I don't know if their pitching is going to be strong enough in the postseason other than Fried. Great offense, though. And even during the losing streak last week, they were still scoring a lot of runs. So I still look for the American League East probably to be the Yankees to win. The Rays are sitting fourth, and they were the best team in baseball for about a month there in late May, early June, and they're still in fourth place. So I think that American League East is very interesting. But for the Toronto viewers, I would say the Blue Jays are probably not going to be at top in a couple months from now.
Yeah, I'm still betting them because I'm a homer, Steve, but it's just one of those things. Yeah, it's going to be hard to maintain. And George and I were talking, and Gabe, we've talked about this for years. How the hell do the Brewers do this every year? George and I were thinking like Cincinnati at 25-1, take a flyer on these guys. They lose to Colorado tonight. But what's your opinion of the Brewers? Last week, weren't they like 4 or 5? Like, what are they, plus 290 now? The Cubs are in a little bit of a tailspin. Like, how do the Brewers do this, and do you think they can sustain it?
Well, it helps that they're in that division, right? Because you've had the Reds have been pretty bad over the years. The Pirates have always been bad. St. Louis has been an aging team. The Cubs haven't been competitive until recently. So it's kind of been the NL Central for Milwaukee to win by default. But they've also had some good pitchers over the years. You know, you look just a few years ago, they had Woodruff, Burns. They had a really good three-man Peralta, three-man rotation. And they were my dark horse that year to make some noise in the postseason. But they keep coming up short in the postseason. It does look like the Cubs are the team to be in this division. Going back to expected one-loss record, which is once again run differential, the Cubs have the best run differential in all of baseball, plus 113 runs. And to put that in perspective, the Dodgers are plus 66, the Phillies are plus 65, but the Brewers are plus 73. So I see what you're saying, Cam. Milwaukee actually has the second best run differential in the National League, but only second best in their own division. And it's so important to win your division because, yes, more teams make the postseason, but if you don't win the division, you're in that one-and-done scenario quite often in the wild card round, which makes things really random.
You got anything there, George? George's a Yankee fan, but I don't know what he's got for you, Steve.
Well, you know, Steve, we're going to channel our inner Gabe, all right? We'll channel our inner Gabe here. Steve, what's wrong with the Dodgers? 6 in a row here. What's going on?
Nothing. I was going to say nothing's wrong with them. They're still a 59.5% win streak, and they've lost 6 in a row, and they're still almost at 60%. In fact, if you round up, they still won 60% this year. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying with the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have won 9 out of 10, and they're barely in first place, right? The Dodgers have lost 6 in a row, and they're still 5 games up, and they're almost at 60%. So I think they'll be fine. One thing that does, George, jump out to me about the Dodgers, though, we're now 94 games into the season, and they're below 500 against winning teams. They're just 20 and 22. And that means in all other games this year, they're 36 and 16. So that's the one thing you do look at because not all schedules are balanced still. Even though we're halfway through, some teams have played different teams than others. Dodgers have not stepped up against good teams. Giants, meanwhile, 25 and 19 against winning teams. The Padres, 16 and 30. So if we're looking for a possible sleeper, maybe it is the San Francisco Giants in the West. They're currently 5 games out.
That's what I was going to say, Steve. Like, I'm looking at the World Series odds courtesy of FanDuel here. Dodgers plus 220, Detroit 7-1, Georgia's Yankees plus 750, Phillies 8-1, Houston 10. They're always around. The Cubs 12, Mets 12, Jays 23, Brewers 29. So you're saying the Giants at 34, like World Series, or like what's like just a team for wins over? Like what's the sleeper? And do you really think the Tigers, like, do you think that's a good bet? I want a little bit more than 7, but I guess you could be in a hedge situation if they do come out of the AL. But is that enough for you?
Well, I do think the Tigers are in a pretty good situation because, first of all, they have the best record in the AL for the most part all season long, and they're 12 and a half games up in their division. Every other team in their division has a losing record, and they're all, below 500 teams probably overall. So it's very realistic. Detroit's going to win that division running away, it looks like. And also, Cam, they've got the best pitcher in baseball. Skubal got lit up tonight by the Mariners, but he's still the best pitcher overall this year in baseball. Easiest division. So they're going to be a pretty good situation to get that, bye. They're going to have their best pitcher in baseball going at least 2 out of the first 5 games in the next series. So I do like Detroit for that reason. You do worry about the inexperience factor. It's hard to imagine they turn things around that fast after some rough seasons. And they also don't have to get by the Dodgers until the World Series. So I do think Detroit's the team to beat in the AL. Houston is probably the other team. I go back to the American League East. We just don't even know who's going to win that division. It's so stacked. Whereas the Astros and the Tigers look like they have a pretty good run to their division titles. And I think those are the two teams to beat. National League, the Mets and Phillies are going head-to-head, but Philadelphia's got a pretty dangerous pitching staff and the veteran lineup. The Dodgers, I do worry about their pitching staff. They're great offensively, just like the Yankees. But postseason, you got to have the pitchers. You got to have 2 or 3 of them. And I think that's where the Dodgers might be a little weak. That's where Ohtani comes in. Do they dare keep throwing him as a starter? They pulled him after the last Saturday. They pulled him after the second inning. He struck out the side, 31 pitches, and they still pull him. I don't know why he's just not a reliever, to be honest with you. And I think at this point, that's what they should be doing with him.
Do you think the Phillies offer? I know George and I talk about that. The Dodgers are barely over 2-1, and the Phillies are like 8 or 9. I think the Phillies are value, Steve. Like I think that's my pick to go to the World Series, and then you can have exact matchups at like 60-1 with like Houston or Toronto or whatever. But I love the Phillies at that price, and Wheeler's lethal.
I agree with you. I just think the tough thing there is they might not win the division because the Mets are having a great season as well. But the Phillies are still they're actually 26 net runs better than the Mets. I do think they're the best team in that division.
Yeah, we'll talk more with Steve there, George. I don't know, George, how you feel about it, but I know everyone's on the Dodgers, but I think the Phillies is a great price, and at that number, I think we can do something with them. Steve's going to stick around for a little bit more. We're going to talk NFL. George and I talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers wins total. We already talked about bets we made yesterday. I got the Miami Dolphins under their wins total, and we'll see what's in Steve's bag because I know he likes to break down the numbers, and he'll have a couple of NFL totals for us. So stick around, everybody. More Steve Merrill after the break on Sports Rage tonight.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
Rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Welcome back to Sports Rage tonight. Cam Stewart, George Kurtz, along with Steve Mayer. We're talking baseball. And Steve, let's switch gears and talk a little bit of NFL. George and I are going to break it down. Never too early to talk football. College football is right around the corner. But, we talked about the AFC East on the other show that we were doing. I was talking about how I was very low on Miami, very high on New England. What's Steve thinking about right now? Steve, any teams that you're jumping on? I know it can be dangerous with the injuries. You want to take unders more than overs, but what are you looking at right now from an NFL wins totals perspective?
Yeah, Cam, that's exactly what I was going to say. My first tip to everybody out there is when in doubt, you try to want to find underplays. And the reason being is that, most of these games, most of these teams are priced to how things should play out. And obviously injuries are going to hurt you a lot more, so there's a lot more downside than there is upside to all these season win totals, especially at the quarterback spot in the NFL, which is so important nowadays. And the Miami Dolphins are probably the textbook example of that. Tua has to stay healthy for them to have a team, in my opinion. And the odds of him getting hurt are pretty good. He's had a lot of concussion issues. So there again, if you think Miami's an 8 or 9 win team with everything priced the way it is, then there's a lot of upside value to the downside, if that makes any sense, with a team like the Dolphins. But I'm going to switch to one of my NFC teams, and you can guess where I'm going with this, Cam. Not my Washington Commanders, and this year there definitely won't be my Washington Commanders, because I think if there's ever a team that's due to regress, I've been saying this all spring long, just here in the D.C. area, talking to people about how excited they were last year. It just kind of came out of nowhere. But then as I start digging more into it, there's a lot of reasons to fade the Commanders this year. First of all, if Jaden Daniels goes down, that would be a huge blow. And you also have the sophomore slump. I don't want to say it's RG3 all over again, because I think Daniels is a different type of player, but we have seen this movie before. But this is a Commanders team that won, only 4 or 5 games the year before. I think they got to 12 wins last year. They have to get to double-digit wins once again to go over that 9.5. And they played probably the easiest overall schedule in football last year. And they still had a lot of last-second, last-play wins to get as far as they did. We always talk about the Super Bowl loser regressing. Well, how about the NFC title game loser regressing? I think we might see that this year with the Commanders. And that looks like a pretty good under 9.5 play to me. And once again, if anything happens injury-wise with Daniels, it makes it even stronger.
Yeah, George, what are you asking about your Cowboys? How about them Cowboys?
I don't want to ask you about the. You know what? Because I'm having a good night. I don't need to talk about the Cowboys. All right, I just don't. I'm so tired of this team.
I like their over. Steve, what about Dallas over 7.5?
I do like their over. All right.
Wait, seriously though, I was going to say, Cam. I mean, the Eagles will be strong again, Super Bowl champs, right? And I think Dallas could be dangerous as well in that division, and even the Giants probably should be getting better. So that's another reason that I do think it's a tough season for the Commanders. Plus, their schedule overall is just much tougher after having the winning record. By the way, George, that's a tough opening game. Dallas at Philly Thursday night.
Get it over with early.
The regular season.
Just get it over with. All right.
I know, and that's going to be one of those survivor games. It'll be very interesting to see how many people are on the Eagles in that one. I'd be very cautious. I would just not use that game.
Take that. I would not take Philadelphia and Survivor.
No division games for Week 1 Survivor, Steve. No way. That's the whole thing. Like, I don't care if Philadelphia is a Super Bowl champs. Division game, Survivor Week 1, no way, no how. You find another game, I would stay away.
Another interesting dynamic about that, though, is that game's a Thursday night game, and a lot of the contests don't close until that weekend for entry. So there's a lot of funny stuff you can do with that game as well, and then re-up or re-enter a contest, So I thought that was an interesting one, because that's going to be one of the biggest favorites in Week 1. But I agree. I think Dallas could be a live dog there.
I'll ask you one more time.
I don't think they'll win the game.
They'll win 8, though, right, George? They'll win 8.
They'll win 8. Yeah. Listen, by the way, as Steve knows, nobody's won this division in back-to-back years in 20-plus years now. What, 03, 04?
Yeah, that's a great call.
So that would seem to be good news for Washington and the Cow. I think the Giants are going to tank. You look at that Giants schedule. Even if they're better, I think they will be better this year. My God. This gives them no favors there. So maybe it's a Washington or Dallas year. I sort of edge towards Washington, assuming they can get McLaurin into camp.
We skipped, Steve, we murdered the 49ers last year, their total. Sorry, Steve, what were you saying? I was just going to ask you about one more team.
I was going to say real quick, I've always said, you've always heard me say this, Cam, that, Week 1 is like Week 5 of the preseason. I said for decades, and of course we only have 3 preseason games now. But you can make an argument it's not even Week 4 of the preseason, because hardly any starters play at all now in those 3 games. So it's almost like it's Week 2 of the preseason. So you can see some random things happen. That's why if you're in a Survivor contest, you want to do a little game theory, stay away from the big favorite, and hope like last year, New England upsets Cincy and 70% get knocked out, and you don't even have to worry about it. So I think that Philly-Dallas game is one of those games in Week 1.
Steve, I love picking on teams with big totals, and I was watching the celebrity golf and Travis Kelce, they're talking about, what's going to happen with this guy. Does he have another year? Could he even quit? And whatever. It's not just about that. It's about Denver getting better, the Chargers getting better. To me, I don't know what you think. I picked on the 49ers with that high total, and it worked last year. What about Kansas City under 11.5? It's one of my favorites. Like, that division's all getting stronger, and I see these guys. I don't think they win 12 games. No way.
Get out of my head, Cam Stewart. That was the other team I was going to talk about, was the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, because, and I hinted at it, right? I said Super Bowl loser. When I talk about the Redskins, Commanders, whatever they're called, losing the title game. Yep. The Chiefs lost the big title game. And look, if you go back, it's not always an automatic play against. In fact, the team that's done well in that role as a loss has been the Patriots with Brady, but they were never blowout losses. If you go back and look at teams that got blown out in the Super Bowl, they usually don't do well the next year. And I think that could be the case with Kansas City. They got to fix that O-line. They have gotten some better receivers, but they were exposed in the Super Bowl last year. And you just got to wonder if that's a team that's a little over the hill now. And they're still being priced pretty high with the double-digit wins. So it would be the under for me with the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, fading Mahomes, fading Reed is always dicey. But that Super Bowl, I think, was kind of eye-opening last year.
I'm very confident, Steve. I love the way Bo Nix played with Denver. I think the Chargers are going to be good. Hell, the Raiders got a quarterback, Geno Smith, but still an upgrade from all the guys that they've had before. I look better than with the Chiefs. I'm looking at these guys getting wear and tear, all the extra games. This is no team that this stuff eventually takes its toll. George knows we're hockey bettors. Every single year, other than the Florida Panthers, a lot of these teams that play all these extra games, they get beat down after a while. It's hard, man. It's physical. And I just love the other teams in the AFC. So I'm going to be fading Kansas City big time, Steve. Thanks, Steve. I really appreciate it, buddy. Good luck with the reffing and everything else. And I know college football is right around the corner, so we'll probably be talking on the weekends and then NFL. But best of luck with everything, Steve, and have a great weekend, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, we'll figure out who's actually playing for these college teams the next couple of weeks, and we'll start diving into it. Right? It's a crazy world now in college sports. Thanks, guys.
Exactly, buddy. Yeah. Have a good one, Steve. Take it easy. We got more sports with George. Hopefully the Jays can put up some more runs on SportsRage here. We'll give you a live score update after a short break.
That is the idea. It really is for in-game live. You said it. The home team who's a double-digit or close to it anyway favorite and get off to a bad start and actually have them trailing by 5, 6, 7 to the point where you get it at pick'em. And I don't know how many times. I'd like to know a stat of how many times a team that's been favored by double digits, trailed by double digits, and actually won the game. I bet it's a lot.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
Got issues up and down here. The bullpen is falling apart, to put it nicely. And have you seen the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the month of July here? We have Seattle, then we have the Cubs, then you have Atlanta, then you have Toronto again in Toronto. That really didn't go all that well this week. And then you have Philadelphia and Tampa. Good luck to the Yankees in July here.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Connect's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Connect, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Connect 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Blue Jays to really make another addition at the deadline. They just got Max Scherzer back. Can they get another pitcher to help out with the pitching staff, which I still think is their biggest issue? They're looking in to be in a good spot right now.
And also, Tom, like just the evolution of handicapping, right? Early in the season, I don't want to take this Blue Jays lineup. It's really bad. Now the past couple weeks, every day I'm looking at the Blue Jays going ooh, team total, RBI chances, guys that were in household names at the beginning of the year.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Thanks to Steve Merrill for joining the program. I'm Cam Stewart along with George Kurtz at Sports Rage tonight, and joining us on the line, Connor Mack. Connor, how you doing, buddy? I'm just telling George, I'm back into the colas. I used to get off that stuff, but I've been watching Scottish Open from like 3 o'clock in the morning, having a nap, waking up. How's the golf treating you this week? Bet you didn't have Chris Goddard up and get him down to have the lead. I take him every other damn week, and him and Jake Knapp, and now they're doing great in Scotland. Didn't know they could play links golf. How you doing, Connor? How's the golf?
I know. Speaking of I love the Pepsi and the Cola war that you guys are talking about. It's something I don't drink anymore. I do like my beers. I've had kidney stones. So my doctor, when I finally, got him out, he's like, you got to cut, of course, like any whiskey and soda. I was like, oh man, because that was like my whole childhood. It's just soda pop, and I was
I'm with you.
I had to cut it out. So.
I usually use it as mouthwash, Connor, because I got diabetes now, but once in a while, I just have to have a couple cold cans in there, because that first spray, George knows, it's kind of like beautiful sex in the morning. It's that vapor and that first chug of an ice cold cola. It's just like, I'm back. You know what I mean? It's just, and I know Kurtz. Like, Kurtz is a Pepsi monster. He drinks how many do you drink a day, Kurtz? 6? 5? But you work out.
I think 6 is about right. So somewhere around 6.
Yeah. I told you, this guy's a cola
I still
monster.
have to
That's
have
a lot,
it.
but George's in good shape. Yeah.
I still have to have it with like a cheeseburger or something, or fry. Like there's just something about
pizza,
having a soda. So I'll have a few a year, definitely with like if I get in and out
make me hungry
or
and
something
thirsty.
like that.
Yeah, Cola with pizza and hamburgers, no, it's a no-brainer. And KFC too, even though there's a lot of salt there. Anyway, let's get off the food talk, Connor. Are you betting any of the Scottish Open? Do you have anybody live? And I have Matt Fitzpatrick at 40-1, but are you shocked with some of these young American guys? Like, I'm very impressed, like with Jake Knapp in the first round and Goddard up. Like, these are guys that have been good young players on the PGA Tour, but they're winning in Scotland on like links courses. Very impressive that the American guys have really picked this up, and with literally no experience playing link style courses. Very impressive.
It has been. You know who I have? I have Fitzpatrick real quick with you. I have same there. So I love that. But I have been, Knapp's up there, Goddard. Of course, I'm not on him like you just talked. We were just talking about in the back. Nick Taylor, it's good to see him up. A guy I've liked to take, top 10s, top 20s. But I think here's a bet that I'm going to jump on. I was trying to find a 9-1 here. I just love how this guy's been playing. I've had a few top 10s and 20s, and he's cashed for me this year. And that is Harry Hall. I mean, how can you not? From Vegas here, went to UNLV, 27 years old. He had 2 top 10s right away at the Century and the Sony. And it's just back-to-back, 19 at the PGA. I think he was 6 at the Charles Schwab. He's just been top 25s all the way down. I love him here, and I think I got the 8-1. I was seeing if I could find 9-1. I like him this week. Just a couple back at that price. I try not to go too crazy, but I think there's good value there. I just love how he's playing, and he's so good. The flat stick is great. That's what they'll see. Around the greens. So this is where he's from. This is what he knows. So I think Harry Hall is live. If anyone's looking for something this weekend, still I think at a solid price, almost 10-1, Harry Hall, I'm going to be on him.
You know what, Connor? That's a really astute comment, too. For people who don't know, Harry Hall is from England, but he went to school in Vegas at UNLV. He knows links golf. He knows regular golf. He's got all the shots in the bag. And he's actually very underrated in all facets of his game. He drives the ball straight. He can putt. So I like that. Yep. What's your opinion? So Scheffler's the favorite. He's 9, but it's a stronger field. And Aberg is only a few shots back, too, at plus 850. What are your opinions there? I kind of like where you're going with Hall, because I think they could have put him at 14-1, but they put him at the number because they know he's live. But what do you think about Aberg and Scheffler? We got about a minute left.
I kind of like them both. I'd go with Scheffler though. At that price, I'd go with him all day. Aberg, the crumble on Sunday is just waiting. It seems to be there. If he has a good Saturday, look to fade him. So I think heading for the weekend, that price with Scheffler, I think it's solid as well. How can you not go wrong with the best player in the world? Right?
I like Connor's style. He's not going for the big Harry Hall. the Brit with the can goal hat. Watch out for this guy. And that's the beautiful thing about golf. Underrated guys every single week. I'm on Fitzpatrick at 40-1. We like his position. He was only 1 under. He shot 7 under today. And this is a guy that knows links golf, and he's starting to round into form. Connor, if he doesn't win this week, I'm taking him next week at the Open Championship. More with Connor Mack after the break.
That is the idea. It really is for in-game live. Have you said it? The home team, who's a double-digit or close to it anyway, favorite, and get off to a bad start and actually have them trailing by 5, 6, 7 to the point where you get it at pick'em. And I don't know how many times. I'd like to know a stat of how many times a team that's been favored by double digits, trailed by double digits, and actually won the game. I bet it's a lot.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
You've got issues up and down here. The bullpen is falling apart, to put it nicely. And have you seen the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the month of July here? We have Seattle, then we have the Cubs, then you have Atlanta, then you have Toronto again in Toronto. That really didn't go all that well this week. And then you have Philadelphia and Tampa. Good luck to the Yankees in July here.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Knecht's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Knecht, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Knecht 20 points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10 plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Blue Jays to really make another addition at the deadline. They just got Max Scherzer back. Can they get another pitcher to help out with the pitching staff, which I still think is their biggest issue? They're looking to be in a good spot right now.
And also, Tom, like just the evolution of handicapping, right? Early in the season, like, I don't want to take this Blue Jays lineup. Like, it's really bad. Now, the past couple weeks, like, every day I'm looking at the Blue Jays going like, ooh, team total, RBI chances, guys that weren't household names at the beginning of the year.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back, everybody. Sports Rage tonight. Cam Stewart, George Kurtz, and joined by Connor Mack, a jack of all trades, talking about golf. He can hit it straight. I'm an absolute chop, but maybe we'll get out there in Vegas. I don't play anymore, Connor. I used to work at a golf course, clean clubs for rich guys, and, I drove the range truck. I used to get pelted, and it was fun when you played every day. You can get good. Now I played like twice in the last 8 years, and I suck, but golf's fun if you're good at it. What is going on here, Kurtz? It looks like the Blue Jays are putting up run after run. The bowling ball. Kirk is in. 5-0. Good guys. Connor, what do you like live in baseball? I'll get George to ask you about some games tomorrow because you're already a step ahead. But what do you like live right now on the baseball board? Anything for our degenerate gamblers out there?
Yeah, so I wanted to I just had this pulled up. I didn't like them much, but Dodgers is still 3-2 here.
Yeah.
4-2. 4-2.
4-2. Sorry, 4-2 now. 4-2. Yeah.
Okay, I was looking maybe to catch them plus 1.5. Obviously, Dodgers playing horrible baseball right now. And is Webb out? Do you guys know?
I don't think
Webb
he's
out,
out.
George?
I don't. I'm watching the game. He pitched last inning. I will take see if he's.
Okay.
Webb is in 5 innings, 76
Still
pitches.
in.
He should be 6th.
Still in. So I was looking at that. I love the Jays. I grabbed them when it was 1-0 there. I have a Vlad Guerrero RBI, so I got to check that since we just got a 4 spot in that game at plus 135. But that was it. One other one is here. I thought the Phillies were good. I didn't love the price today. Obviously, Suarez just pitched so good and shut everything down. But I thought the Phillies could score some runs. Bottom 7, though, first and second, 2 outs, 3-2 Padres. we'll see what happens here, because I think that maybe the Phillies, if you want to take here the last 2 innings, this Padre bullpen hasn't been the same, kind of as the very good start that they have been up and down. Same thing with their bats a little bit as of late. There's been trouble for them to score. So maybe a late Phillies here, the 2 innings to get a good price.
Nice. Jays, I think, just put up some more runs there, George. I'm seeing here, I'm probably behind you, but a big hot shot to first. They couldn't corral it, 7-0 for the good guys. Maybe we can get that run line, total, everything now. This has gone from a 0-0 game into very, very good stuff. Connor, George is a Yankee fan. Boyd's been amazing for the Cubs. Yankees are hot again. What about that game tomorrow? What else? Like, looking at the board tomorrow, it's a great game to start it off. The Yankees are hot as hell. Bellinger hit 3 home runs tonight. They look fantastic, and the Cubs look pretty cold right now. What are you thinking about that game and the rest of tomorrow's baseball board?
Yeah, I saw his first homer. Then I know he hit the second. That game, so when I see right at this game, I want to look to the under. Just flat out. Early start. Yankees, though, I believe it was their 12th straight over. And before that, the Yankees had gone on an unbelievable under run. I believe it was before that, the 15 games or 14, I think it was 14-1. They had one game split in there, a 7-3 win. But this is one thing we saw when the losing, they couldn't score any runs. Then they were losing scoring runs, but the pitching was kind of getting hit around. Now it's coming forward. This is the guy you want. Fried finally has, after just the dominant start that he had, has seen, been a little bit shaky. But at home here, I think he gets some. One thing is these lineups are stacked. They both hit lefties, too. We got top lefties and top lineups that can hit them. But I was looking a little bit in this game at the under. I'm sure people a little bit like today will see a price of the Cubs, and we wanted to take them at a big, big plus price tomorrow.
What are you doing, George, with that one?
Judge is hitting a home run.
Judge is hitting a home run tomorrow? What's his home run prop? What is it, 2-1? Probably only, plus 220? Something along. It won't be that much.
I'm looking now, but that'd be a best case scenario. It's not even that. 168. So
oh
we're
my God!
He's just hitting a home run.
That's low.
Stanton, wouldn't shock me if he does it too. By the way, Mets bullpen is great for us. Okay, Bobby Witt 2-run home run. Kansas City leading 3-1 here, bottom of the 7th here. So good news for us. The late games are coming in, Cam. Right with Kansas City.
I told you, George, it's all changing. Excellent. You got anything for Connor for tomorrow, George? Any games you want to go over?
All right, so Connor. So what's your favorite play tomorrow, Connor? Let's just start with the easy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I have 2 that at least so far, looking at the board here, is first the under here in Rays Red Sox. I think this is a game, especially the Rays team total. I think we don't have that out yet, but Crochet at home has been very, very good. 2.89 ERA. And it's been a struggle a little bit for the Rays. At times when they went on the streak, they were able to hit lefties. He gives up 5 at home. A couple tough plays and errors against the Reds in that game. And then he, has a decent start where he gives up 2 in Washington. I think he can be very good tomorrow. Rays sliding a bit. The offense not the same, down the last 2 weeks. So I think their team total under. But this is the play. Royals just win. I think they're live again tomorrow. This team finally playing some good baseball. Bats finally waking up. They're plus 110. This is a guy right here in Montas I've been just fading. So he obviously came back. He has 6 minor league starts, 18 1/3. He has up 30 hits. He just gets tattooed. 8 home runs. I mean, his ERA is 12. Then he comes back as a decent start in his first start. I think he kind of worked around it. And his last 2, one on the road, one at home, didn't look very good. Still walking people. I think he could be bet on as he gets going a little bit. No preseason. A lot of these guys that are dealing with injuries. And Montas kind of that hit or miss too. When he has his stuff on, he can get rolling. But I think they're live tomorrow. Royals winning here, but before that, they had won 7 of 10. They had won 5 of 6. I know it was Pirates and the D-backs. But, hey, they're starting to put some runs on the board. Bullpens hanging around and closing games. And at that dog price, I like them a lot tomorrow, right around plus 110 right now.
You guys like anything? George, my dumpster special, Chicago and the Guardians. Of course, it's going to extra innings. You know it had to. When you're betting on this game, you deserve extra innings and stress. I didn't put too much money on it.
Look, it's got a delay again. If you're watching the game, the starting pitcher is soaking wet. It was monsooning there. I can't believe they didn't put this game in a delay, but it is what it is here. We got the ghost runner on second base.
What, in Chicago?
Yeah.
Yes. It was. I'm surprised too. It looked like, come on, like let's go. This is crazy.
The umpires don't want to wait. That's what it is here. Or Major League Baseball told them, no, we don't want to continue this game tomorrow. So I guess they're going to get it in tonight. But I mean, the pitcher is soaking wet. I mean, it's just like you just generally don't see this. Those are terrible uniforms too, by the way.
Are you gonna like George and I? Like, even though George is a Yankee fan, he's been riding the Jays, and that's my team. I ride them all the time. It almost feels like I'm looking at Gossman like $142 tomorrow. Like, that seems like a steal to me. Like, I get worried when I see and the way the Jays are playing. Like, I thought they'd be like $165, $170. Connor, what do you think about the Jays and Gossman against the Athletics tomorrow?
Well, how about that? I mean, now the Jays put up all these runs, of course, and then this line is a little bit where it's at. Lopez I've seen him. Very good stuff. Obviously comes up and gets tattooed. Welcome to the big leagues. And then I saw him shut down the Tigers. He's looked very, very good. Blue Jays have been ripping lefties, though. That's a little bit, these are the numbers you kind of scratch your head, have to dig so much a little bit deeper. Can Lopez in this small ballpark be good? But it's hard to go against these Jays right now at this price. Looking right here, it looks like the run
I kind of like the under 10,
be...
too. Even though this park has a lot of overs, I'm on under with these pitchers tomorrow. I don't think we can get
those two tomorrow.
10 runs in this spot, not for sure. So Thanks a lot, Connor, buddy. Good luck with the golf for Harry Hall, and let's go Fitzpatrick, buddy. Because I'll tell you, if Matt Fitzpatrick wins at 40-1, we're gonna have a little party, and then we'll roll it into the Open Championship. We'll talk more golf next week. By the way, SportsGrid, we have a golf extravaganza special on Monday with all the props, bets. British Open Championship should be a lot of fun after the Scottish. So Connor, have a great weekend, buddy. Good luck with your bets, and we're going to talk to you real soon, my friend. More Sports Rage after a short break, everybody.
That is the idea. It really is for in-game live. You said it. The home team who's a double-digit or close to it anyway favorite and get off to a bad start and actually have them trailing by 5, 6, 7 to the point where you get it at pick'em. And I don't know how many times. I'd like to know a stat of how many times a team that's been favored by double digits, trailed by double digits, and actually won the game. I bet it's a lot.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
Got issues up and down here. The bullpen is falling apart, to put it nicely. And have you seen the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the month of July here? We have Seattle, then we have the Cubs, then you have Atlanta, then you have Toronto again in Toronto. That really didn't go all that well this week. And then you have Philadelphia and Tampa. Good luck to the Yankees in July here.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Knecht's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Knecht, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Knecht 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Blue Jays to really make another addition at the deadline. They just got Max Scherzer back. Can they get another pitcher to help out with the pitching staff, which I still think is their biggest issue? They're looking in to be in a good spot right now.
And also, Tom, like just the evolution of handicapping, right? Early in the season, I don't want to take this Blue Jays lineup. Like, it's really bad. Now, the past couple weeks, every day I'm looking at the Blue Jays going ooh, team total, RBI chances, guys that were in household names at the beginning of the year.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back, everybody. Cam Stewart, George Kurtz. Thanks to Connor Mack for joining us there. So, George, yeah, I'm still waiting for this football game. Says delay, but it's got to be postponed. We're almost 11:44 p.m. Eastern, Saskatchewan. That's 9:44. I don't know what's going on. Been on Twitter just saying delayed, but they got to postpone this thing. If they haven't started yet, the players still have to warm up. There's no way. So probably going to have a postponement in the CFL game once we get the word before the end of the show. If there is any on a reschedulation, we'll talk. Updated scoreboard. George, another run for the Giants. Right side right now, but the total looks pretty crazy. It's 10.5 live. Giants are up 5-2. They also have runners on the corners with 2 outs. The Jays exploding on the Athletics, 7-0. Top of the 6th, we got an 11.5 going right now in that game. Padres up on the Phillies, 3-2, top 8. Padres minus 210. The Phillies plus 162. Total 6.5. Angels and D-backs. Can we get there? We need some runs. 5-4 Angels. Bottom of the 6th, we got 2 guys on for the Angels, 1 out there. And George, you said Kansas City's laying it on thick. I see 3-1. It looks like they're still threatening, right? Or is that the Mets that are threatening right now?
That's the
2
Mets.
on, no outs, top 8.
Yeah, Juan Soto's up here. Runners on first and second. Nobody out here, so it's never easy. Never easy here. We're not getting one of the better relievers for Kansas City either. It's not Estevez, it's not Urseg. It is Cruz. So we're going to sweat it out. And it's a 2-2 count here. So we'll see what happens there. It is monsooning. Like I said, I'm going to keep bringing this up. It is monsooning in Chicago, but they will not delay this game. They're in the 10th inning, top of the 10th. 2 outs there. I mean, they just put the dirt around the pitching mound. I mean, you got to see some of the fans. It's hilarious, actually, when you think about it. If this game meant something, by the way, if this was the Yankees and Red Sox, they'd be delayed in this game. But it is what it is here. So, we're not going to complain about it. It's just it's a fun game to watch here. So as we see the fans just drenched in the field here. I can't believe the Jays have 7 runs and I don't have any of my home run props hit. Barger and Guerrero here. So that's annoying here. I know Connor said he had Guerrero plus 135 for an RBI. Unfortunately for him, Guerrero does not have an RBI yet, but we're only in the 6th.
It's crazy. Let's take a look too. Wow, Scherzer, I got to tell you something, George. I remember before, and I went to the first game of the year, and remember the game he was hurt, and I'm going to see if our buddy Rich Griffin, he's a Hall of Fame baseball writer in Canada and in Cooperstown, Georgia, also former Jays writer and writer for the Montreal Expos back in the day. I'm going to see maybe he can come on Monday, talk some baseball. But I was there with him when Scherzer got hurt originally in the opening series. Now look at him, George. Have you seen his starts recently? He seems to be getting stronger and better. I know it's the Athletics, but 5 innings of work, 2 hits right now, 8 Ks. Is he finding something? Because if he does, this could be the absolute steal. I'm telling you, this is nuts. The last 3 starts have actually been pretty decent for Max Scherzer after it looked like he wasn't even going to play this year.
Yeah, I think it's listen, with Scherzer, the good, he's pitching well. And listen, I wouldn't say, it's the A's. A's can hit. And it's in Sacramento, so he's pitching a good game here. Yeah. I'm not going to knock Scherzer here. I think my knock on him is going to be, I don't see him staying healthy for 3 months. Through July to August, September.
They're going to baby him.
They may like to, but are they going to acquire a starter where you can do that? Because once again, they're playing for a division title, a wild card, and everything else that comes along with it. But that'd be my issue. I don't know if he's going to stay healthy for the next 3 months. There are 3+ months into the playoffs to really help really get the Jays to where they want to go here. But he's pitching very well. And like I said, A's can hit. So the fact that he's doing it in Sacramento against the A's, I think I wouldn't say, it's the A's. No, the A's can mash, but not tonight.
Wow, George. That total in the Dodger game, it's 12.5 now. The Giants just keep on exploding. What's going on here? Runner on third, 7-2 now for the Giants. 7-2. Wow, this is unbelievable. The Dodgers.
7 in a row now for the Dodgers. Yikes. I mean, they're not hitting. They're just, they're not pitching tonight either. So you weren't going to win this game even if you were hitting. But I keep saying this, Betts doesn't look like Betts. Freeman doesn't look like Freeman. Hernandez is just trying to find his stride again. No Max Muncy, remember how hot Muncy was? They were riding Andy Pius, who was hitting very well. Will Smith, Ohtani, of course. Edmund for a while in the first 2 months of the season. He's cooled off as well. But this offense has some issues right now. I think it was Steve Merrill brought out that they're against teams that are over 500, they have a less than 500 record. So against good teams, they don't play well, for whatever it's worth there. I'm not worried about the Dodgers. I think they'll win the division. I think they'll, do very well. But this is not the runaway Dodgers team that we thought they'd be. They are beatable.
So, yeah, it's shocking. And I still stand by it. I think the Phillies at 8-1 would be like if I'm looking from one team from the National League, their pitching's been fantastic. I think they can rake. So I just look at that number in comparison. And sure, the Dodgers are going to be there. They're going through a bad stretch, but it's shocking that a team that talented can go on a losing streak like this. George, we got a one WNBA game. It's going to be very close to the number, guys. We said take Seattle when they were down early in this game, double digits. They're -5.5 live. They're up on the Connecticut Sun, 69-64, but there's under 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 3:52 and counting. Total should have taken the live over. It's 148.5 right now. The Storm are -1,600 on the money line. So what do we got going on in baseball right now? A lot of these things wrapping up. George, are the White Sox, so the top of the 10th, the Guardians have 2 guys on, 2 out, so I need to get out of that. The Mets right now, okay, here's the deal. Kansas City's up 3-1. They're -170, but the Mets have bases loaded, no outs, correct? And they're getting +132?
0-2 count to Alonso. He just missed a grand slam, by the way, down the right field line, maybe by about 5 feet. So it's not a bad bet. I said take the Mets right now, +210. You know, you might want to hop on that. Alonso is out, by the way. He strikes out and snaps the bat in half. Boy, you got to be strong to do that here. And the Royals did bring in their best reliever, by the way. Estevez is now in there. I don't know if it's to get a 6-out save or just to get him out of this inning with him still having a lead.
Yeah, 3-1 right now, 1 out, bases loaded for the Mets. George talked about it, lying down to +200 from 210 total. George, over 6.5. One swing of the bat can get you the over. 54 cents a juice. You like over or under 6.5?
Well, I think if you like over, take the Mets. That means you mean the Mets come back, right? It's a 4-3 win here. So I think if the Mets, you could have a cooperative bet there. Take the over as well here. I'm going to stick with the under.
George is sticking with the under. We're on the Royals with cheese, but things are getting a little bit dicey right now. Blue Jays up 7-0 on the Athletics. They're -6.5 on the run line, total 10.5 in that game. We need more runs, George. We need a few more. And the Giants have tacked on another one. It's 8-2 right now. Live total in this game, 13.5 right now. So George and I will break down our best bets for the weekend after the break, everybody.
That is the idea. It really is for in-game live. Have you said it? The home team who's a double-digit or close to it anyway favorite and get off to a bad start and actually have them trailing by 5, 6, 7 to the point where you get it at pick'em. And I don't know how many times. I'd like to know a stat of how many times a team that's been favored by double digits, trailed by double digits, and actually won the game. I bet it's a lot.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
You've got issues up and down here. The bullpen is falling apart, to put it nicely. And have you seen the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the month of July here? We have Seattle, then we have the Cubs, then you have Atlanta, then you have Toronto again in Toronto. That really didn't go all that well this week. And then you have Philadelphia and Tampa. Good luck to the Yankees in July here.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Knecht's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Knecht, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Knecht 20-plus points at +120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at +118.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Blue Jays to really make another addition at the deadline. They just got Max Scherzer back. Can they get another pitcher to help out with the pitching staff, which I still think is their biggest issue? They're looking to be in a good spot right now.
And also, Tom, like just the evolution of handicapping, right? Early in the season, I don't want to take this Blue Jays lineup. Like, it's really bad. Now, the past couple weeks, like, every day I'm looking at the Blue Jays going like, ooh, team total, RBI chances, guys that weren't household names at the beginning of the year.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back, everybody. Final segment, Stewart and Kurtz, Sports Rage. Shout out to Gabe getting married in Kelowna this week. He'll be back on Tuesday, and George and I will be back Monday to break down. George, we'll have some home run derby bets. We'll go through some MLB futures, NFL futures, and whatever the hell we want to talk about, I guess, that night. And hopefully our guys win, because we're going to take some pooches in the home run derby. So, George, what happened? The Mets have broken it up right now. Talked about the over. That was my instinct. Should have listened to myself. But, yeah, the Royals in a lot of trouble. Nice little comeback by the Mets. Cleared the bases. What, we got 4-3?
Yeah, maybe the Mets playing under the most scrutiny. And Mark Vientos with the big 3-run double there. Rolf Estevez up the right center field gap there. Mets lead 4-3. Runners on first and second, 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Royals will still have two shots to tie this game, take the lead here. But one of those shots is going to be against Edwin Diaz. And I wouldn't be surprised, by the way, they bring on Diaz to get a 5-out save, 4-out save, 2 innings. None of that would surprise me.
Yeah, well, George, I got that White Sox bet. It might be the best thing. I'm not going to hit the over in the Angels game. That's a bad bet. Basketball's going pretty good. We're on the Giants. I know you like the under in that game, but the Giants are up 8-2. Jays are doing their thing. Run line. We just need that total at 7-0 right now. Max Scherzer is pitching an absolute gem. He's still in the game for the Blue Jays. Anything tomorrow, George? I know we've talked to Connor Mack, and then I'll give you my best bets from all the sports, golf, Wimbledon, and everything else. But what are you going to take in baseball tomorrow? It looks like some great pitching matches tomorrow, George. It's going to be a nice Saturday.
Yeah, tomorrow's a really good pitching matchup throughout baseball. DeGrom and Valdez, 6.5. 6.5 DeGrom Valdez. I'll probably take the over there, Cam. I mean, it's 6.5. And it's not that I feel great about it, but it's just, I'm not going to take it under 6.5. It's almost like an automatic. I'll take the over. But listen, I'm going to go with the Yankees.
Skeens and Ryan pitched a 2-1 game today. We like the under there, right?
Yeah, but they can't hit for Skeens. They can't hit for Skeens. This is absolutely ridiculous what's going on here. Saw a great stat, by the way, when you were talking to Gamblu earlier. Skeens, his last 25 starts, he has not given up an earned run in the first inning. Think about that. 25, take the Nerfy. All right. I'm sorry, Gabe. I know we're not allowed to say Nerfy. Take the no run first inning.
No run first inning. No Nerfy, George. Remember, that's somebody. You got to be under. I'm with Gabe though. That's like, it sounds like a kid's thing. Like, just we're grown men. Like, Nerfies are for children.
Hey,
right?
We got 2 runs for at the Athletics here. Hey, my boy, my nephew, Nick Kurtz.
Oh, Kurtz.
2-run home. Long 2-run home.
Kurtz. Well, it's good for our total. Just make sure they don't get 6, George. I need to win that run line too. I don't mind a deuce, but don't get stupid.
I'm on Toronto as well here. I don't want the Athletics to win the game, but we do need 2 more runs, right? We need to get to 11. So we need 2 more, but we're only in the bottom of the 6th here. Long home run by Kurtz, by the way. Holy God, this guy's strong. He's going to be a really good player for the Athletics. If I first get this in, I'm going to be on the Yankees. Going to ride the streak, right? They're playing well. Cubs aren't playing well. Max Fried's pitching. And I wasn't kidding about the Aaron Judge home run. I'm going to take, I know it's not great value, 68 cents, but I think Judge is hitting one tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a short one in the bleachers or one that's hit out to Monument Park, but Judge is hitting a home run there. Kirby and Mize, I'm going to take the under here. All right, then Seattle and Detroit. Don't really feel great about who I might win the game, Cam, but you're going to give me an 8 total with Kirby and Mize. I'm going to take the under there in that contest. Everything else is going to take off after I'm on the road, as I'm going to the Madison Square Garden tonight for a concert. So I may not have any other bets.
Nice, George.
At least not yet.
Yes. George, Billy Idol and Joan Jett. Two old rockers getting. Is that no? What concert is it?
That's next month. That's
next
month.
This?
Tomorrow's Weird Al. I'm going to see Weird Al.
Oh, yeah, Weird Al. You see, I love it. It's amazing. I love it, George. For all you people, too, if you like Weird Al and you haven't seen UHF, me and George were talking about it before yesterday's show. A real classic. He's got it on DVD. That is a movie. George, I got some bets for you. All sorts of crazy stuff going on right now. We got a Wimbledon final. I'm going to take Swiatek to get it done on the ladies' side. Men's tournament. That is on Sinner and Alcaraz. I'm actually going to take Sinner match to go over 41.5 and Sinner plus 105 on FanDuel. I like him to get it done on the men's side. Canadian Football League, we don't know what's going to happen tonight with this game, but I love the Ottawa Red Blacks getting 5.5, plus 5.5 against Babano's Hamilton Tiger Cats and Gabe's BC Lions minus 2.5 at Mick Ozzie's Edmonton Elks. So I like BC and Ottawa as a pooch in that game. Soccer, we got the final. Give me Paris Saint-Germain. I know it's minus 170. I'll take it and over 2.5 goals, George. So that's what I got. Live golf. I'm on Fitzpatrick, but if you're going to do one live guy right now, I'd probably go with Aberg at plus 850. So thanks, George. It's been absolutely fantastic this week. We busted out the baseball. Hopefully we'll get some winners, and George and I will join you again on Monday. Home Run Derby and more bets. Have a good night, everybody.